We will all die someday. This isn't to be overly pessimistic, but death equally applies for everyone. Rich or poor, educated or uneducated, happy or unhappy, we all have an invisible ticking clock. To recognize that and to accept that we don't have forever to do what we want makes every living and breathing moment so precious. Yet most of us live in a way squandering time as if it has no limits. We work jobs that don't give us a sense of purpose. We have people we love but never spend enough time with them. We have dreams that stay dreams. So, what's been stopping you? What's drifting you apart from the life you truly want to live? In a study done by Kinnear and Mehta, samples of young, middle-aged, and older respondents were asked what they would do differently if they could live their lives over again. And out of all three groups, the most common regret was not something they've done, but what they have not done. To probe this further, in Davida and Gilvich 2018, the study focused on three versions of ourselves. Our actual selves, who we think we are, our ought selves, who we think we should be, our ideal selves, the traits, abilities, and accomplishments we would like to possess. Basically, our goals and hopes and dreams. The participants were given the following prompt. Sometimes people regret not being the person they think they could have been. They regret not achieving the goals they had set for themselves and not fulfilling their dreams and aspirations. Other times, people regret not being the person they think they should have been. They regret not meeting the norms and rules they had for themselves and not fulfilling their obligations. The research showed that 72% of people regretted not becoming their ideal self as opposed to their ought self, meaning they regret not doing what they wanted for themselves instead of living a life someone else wanted them to. In short, we regret the most of not becoming who we could have become. How often do we say, "Oh, I'll do that tomorrow," and tomorrow becomes next week, the next month, then the next year? Until at some point we say to ourselves, shoot, it's too late. Beyond the fact that there is no deadline for our personal goals when we get buried in the incessant deadlines of school, work, life, there is something fundamental to the tendency for our inaction. Fear. Although fear is an innate emotion crucial for human survival from an evolutionary perspective, everyone probably has some form of regrets because at a certain crossroad in our lives, we chose a path to avoid fear, but also let go of another possibility. I mean, how often do we say that we can't do something when we really meant, I'm scared and I don't want to? What if there is another ending to our unfinished story? Looking back at my own life at 23, I realize how much I've let fear dictate the decisions I made. Starting with not telling a boy I liked how I really felt, because I guess I was just afraid to be rejected. By avoiding that rejection I dread, I let go of even the possibility of being rejected, or what could have turned out to be a beautiful relationship. Growing up, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I dreamt of going to Parsons in New York or Central St. Martin's in London. I loved the glam, the creative freedom, the medium of expression. But by the time it was a point for me to commit by working the long hours to build a portfolio for application, one brunch with the story of a daughter of some friend of a family friend not being able to pay her bills even after becoming a designer at Calvin Klein's and Marc Jacobs convinced me that this will be my fate. With the fear of failure, I didn't even try applying for fashion school because I thought I would become a starving designer anyways. At UCLA, I had the most dreadful time of my life that hurts to even think back. That 1.5 years of insomnia due to my rooming situation scarred me physically and mentally. I've never had a regular or normal period ever since, even until now. It's absurd to me how I did nothing to change my situation at the time. The fear of creating conflicts, the fear of being a disagreeable person were honestly so irrational. Simply moving out wouldn't offend anyone.
Even if it did, so what?
It probably would have done all of us a favor. When it came to choosing careers, I once again let fear lead the way. The fear of instability made public accounting at a renowned Big Four firm seem like such a safe and great decision. The moment I got an offer for the sophomore leadership program meant that I knew I got my internship secured with a full-time offer waiting. It meant that if I just worked the long and hard hours, I'll move up from an associate to experienced associate to senior associate to manager, senior manager, director, partner. Or perhaps leave halfway and go to the corporate side to do more accounting and climb another ladder. The path was as clear as veins on a dead leaf. The lack of uncertainty almost makes you able to see the safe but boring life you set out for yourself in the next 30 years. The fear of instability drifted my mind away to even think about pursuing my passions for creative things as an option.
And there is a high cost to chasing after dreams.
It means taking way more risks than the safe route.
Which is why, being the risk-averse person that I was,
pursuing YouTube and my creative career was such a life-changing move for me. I'm having so much fun, you guys. Like, there's people judging me at this church, but it's so pretty, and I am just like having a good mood and don't give a shit about everything else. It's like a good, nice, cloudy and sunny day, so I don't know. Also, I look like I'm so strong, but this tripod is literally the lightest thing ever. Look how pretty this place is. Such a gorgeous architecture. For once, I stared in the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of humiliation, the fear of ostracization in the eye, and carried on what I've been wanting to do.
And finally started living for myself instead of for anyone else.
It's different for everyone, as we all have different aspirations, but when you remember the fact that your life is finite and some things might never be done if you don't do them now, know that whatever you want to do won't be easy. The cost to chasing your dreams might be something you can't afford right now. You could very much be laughed at and be called an idiot, but think forward years from now, on your deathbed. Would you regret not doing that thing on your mind? If you no longer have a dream anymore because you let it go for so long, think back at all the deciding moments that left you some unforgettable regrets. And that's part of the reason that I love film and storytelling so much. These captured moments help you reflect and learn about yourselves, which is why I'm so excited to have my own Elfin projector from our sponsor, XGIMI or XGIMI. This is a very light and transportable projector, but can project up to a 150 inches screen. The high image quality from its image engine native 1080p FHD at 800 ANSI lumen, as well as the powerful audio from its 2x3 Harman Kardon speakers, make all the little moments bigger, literally. Its smart connectivity to Google Assistant, Android games, AppSync, Android TV, wireless screen mirroring, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi make it easy to look back on your precious memories, films, YouTube, sports, or games through a whole new audio-visual experience.
You can get yours through the link in my description. And even though doing YouTube is already a big step I took in spite of my numerous fears, I believe it's not enough. I truly believe that my comfort zones can be expanded much, much further. I believe I can fear, but still choose to live the life I want without piling up regrets.
And that's why I'm creating a new series on my channel called Bring On the Fears, in which I challenge myself to explore a series of fears that might not be a huge deal to someone else, but deeply scares me. Rejection, disapproval, failure, loneliness, the list goes on. Don't let fear be the excuse for your future regrets.
Do what your future self will thank you for.
So next time, instead of asking yourself, can I do it? The real question is, what's stopping me?